Parsha Kedoshim. Rebbe speaks over here. There is one idea, a general idea, in three mitzvahs that we find in this parsha. The Rebbe says in Torah, every little detail is absolute exact. Even different commandments that the Torah says in the psukim of the parsha, one after another, means they have a connection between them. One, then comes the other, there is something connection there. It's not just throwing in things inside. Based on this understanding, we have to find the connection between the three commandments that we find in one line in our parsha. That seemingly you don't see between them any connection. What is that? The first that says Kedoshim tiyu, be holy. Then it says if ish imei v'ovev taro, a man has to fear his mother and father. And then there is a third mitzvah, shabsei set yishmeru, keep Shabbos. What's the connection between these three mitzvahs that says one after another? Now we have to understand, in the commandment of Kedoshim tiyu, Hashem demands from us we should be separated from the other nations of the world. Kedusha, holiness over here, means actually separation. As it says in the end of the parsha, V'yisim li Kedoshim, be holy, and then I will separate you from the other nations. In what do we have to be different of the Goyim, of the non-Jews? If we will say that we mean we should live according to Torah mitzvahs, it's the line be separated doesn't belong here, because Goyim have no connection to Torah. So it's clear that when it says be separated, means in items that seemingly looks like Goyim the same. So then over there, don't be like the Goyim, be separate. So it says even so, it's simply Goyim, but even in this, Torah tells us be holy, separate yourself from the other nations. What is that? Holiness of a Jew is always. This instruction of the Torah tells us even things that you are permitted, eating, drinking, and business and so on. In these areas, looks like a Jew has to eat and a non-Jew is eating, drinking. A non-Jew has to work. And all physical life is similar. We are eating, they are eating. They are taking care of our bodies and parnasa and any other needs of the person or the world. And in this area, when the Jew and the non-Jew are similar, Torah tells us, over here Torah says, be holy. You have to bring holiness also in this subject that it looks like you and the non-Jews look the same. To show that even in your daily life, there is a specialty in the Jewish people. Through this, that whatever they do, they eat and drink, but they do it l'shem Hashem, for the Eibishter, for God. And through this connection, also in things that are permitted, as Torah says, Kadesh atzmucha b'muter loch. The Ramban on Kedoshim says, be holy in things that you are permitted. Not be holy, don't eat non-kosher. God forbid. No, he says, no, it's kosher, but in the kosher, be holy. In continuity to this, so this is one mitzvah. Now we know what Kedoshim is. What is the connection? A man should fear your mother and father. The Rebbe says you have to give her over to the children. This your connection to Judaism, that this basically expresses your whole life of a Jew. You have to give her over to the next generation. A person shouldn't say, I'm going to be holy, I will do it to myself, but on the children I'm not going to put such a big burden that when they ask for a candy, it has to be to serve Hashem. A child doesn't understand it. A child understands that candy is to enjoy. So So the Rebbe says, right after Kedoshim Tiyu, Torah says, a man should fear mother and father. Means you have to give her over to your children. Whatever you understand and believe in Yiddishkeit, nothing is too much for the children. Actually, in many other places, the Rebbe says, we are afraid the children will not understand, it's too much. Actually, it says they're purer than us. They will take it faster than we. We have a hard time to work with it. You tell it to a child, he takes it, he's not in this world for so long. His soul is more pure. It didn't go through yet whatever we went through in life. And therefore they will take it actually better than you think. They'll take it better than you. Don't be afraid to share with them. Give them the full program. Don't hide anything. That's why the mitzvah of honoring parents comes right after that. Then the third mitzvah is Shabseiset Shmeir, keep Shabbos. What holy? Be holy, honor your parents and keep Shabbos. What's the connection? The Rebbe says this is for completing the instructions of Torah that answers the question: how do I take the ability of this huge job? Where can I have the strength that I should be able to make holy my own life and bring in holiness also in the generations to come, in my children and grandchildren? Where do I take that ability? Who says I could do it? The answer is Shabbos. Shabbos feeds a Jew the ability to be separate from the nations and be holy also in your physical life. Shabbos gives that strength. Shabbos tells us we eat and drink, all physical, but it's all prepared from before. And it's all separate and it's all special in the way how to serve it and so on. And there is another point is Shabbos table. On Shabbos when we sit together with the family and friends, people from community, but your children are on the table. You cannot forget. You have to, every Shabbos experience for your children has to be a lesson in education, a lesson in Torah, in mitzvahs, in outlook, how to deal with the world. At the table, they have to hear stories of tzaddikim, they have to hear what is Torah telling, what is the proper way to look in the world, on different questions, what's the reaction, what's in life number one, what's in life number two, what's in life number three, and so on and so forth. A child has to walk away for being on the Shabbos table with his parents on a weekly basis for as many years as a child is at home. Then he goes to yeshiva, then he gets married, then he moves away, he goes to school. It's not every Shabbos. It's not for life. You don't have your children for life on your table. It's a couple of years. A few more years, a few less years. But you have to utilize it to the best as you can. That on Shabbos, in other words, you have to try to put, your wife puts a lot of effort to the Shabbos table. Wednesday she's already buying stuff, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night she's already preparing Friday. If she works, she's already starting Thursday night till late. If she's not working the whole Friday, goes on preparing the Shabbos. She puts in hours and hours in work to prepare for Shabbos. You are the husband, and you work, you bring parnasa, and you come to the Shabbos table ready. Not much work. But you have to spiritually prepare. You have to think, which stories will the children enjoy to hear? Which lessons do they have? You saw the kids and you see they're missing some point that they don't get it. Because they're young, they're whatever, they didn't hear it, they have in the school, they have a different view, with their kids, with their friends, whatever. So you have to think about it. What is it? And then think, what is the best way to bring it at the table? How do I make it clear? I could speak to someone else at the table. I could say a Dvar Torah at the table. I could tell a story at the table. I could tell my wife to tell a story at the table. But the idea is you have to have a plan. You're like a principal. You're like a teacher who every day prepares, what am I going to teach today? And then when he looks on his students in the class, he sees, okay, the children don't know this yet, they don't get this yet, they don't understand the importance. And you're planning how to implement it, how to bring it again and again, different ways, till your children get your whole idea that you wanted to give over to them. Not you, but what you want to give them over, what Torah teaches you. So the Rebbe says, Shabbos is a reminder. The non-Jewish approach to the world is, Hashem created the world, Ozav Hashem Ezoretz. God left this physical world. He doesn't have time for this. He doesn't enjoy here. He's sitting in the sky. He left the world in the hands of nature. He created a sun, a moon, stars, laws of nature, and the world. He created it, and then he gave it over to the laws of nature that he also created. But he is away. He says, no, that's a non-Jewish way of looking. The Jewish understanding is different. Comes Shabbos and underlines, again, reminds you that the Jewish faith is that the world was created and is being ran, is managed all the time by God. Shabbos tells us not just that the world was created, Shabbos also tells us that Hashem continues to run the world. And that's why we on Shabbos are resting, because He is resting. After Shabbos, He's continued doing. Shabbos is the sign, connection between the Jew and God. It always reminds us that also the nature of this world is totally controlled by God. The Shabbos has the strength, the holiness of the day has the strength to bring holiness in all daily life of a person and penetrate this idea also in our children. Many times on a personal level, children, they're being invited by friends. We want to go for Shabbos. To the uncle, we want to go for Shabbos here, we're going for Shabbos there, for Shabbos for my friend. And we were very reluctant. We let the children go for Shabbos other places, very, very rare. And my wife used to tell them, you don't see Tati a whole week. You're eating breakfast, you're eating lunch, Tati is not there, he's running around. Shabbos, when he's at the table, you want to go away? No, Shabbos we want to sit all together. And the kids weren't so happy that we didn't let them go. Their friends are coming and say, you want to bring your friends to our house? By all means. If they are ready to come, bring as many as you want. But I'm not ready to let you go for Shabbos. Shabbos is a very special time where we sit together. You have to cherish it, the kids have to cherish it, and you have to put a lot of thought. At least as much effort as your wife puts in the physical part of Shabbos. Don't forget, you have to bring the spirituality. It's harder work, but the work is here. Or maybe prepare something, to look something up. But the atmosphere, you have to bring the atmosphere, the children have to grow in this atmosphere, and then you plant it in them. That's what the Rebbe explains why we have be holy, means the world is not the purpose and not the excitement of us. The opposite. Go live the world, concentrate. Whatever, I mean, you believe in Canada, yes, so money and wealth, and this is like so important. Yeah, a bigger house, a nicer house, a new car and clothes, and we have a house of so many square foot, and the guy has more. Oh, now we're going to buy a bigger house. Right? That's the mentality of the Canadian street. And children have to pick up on the table in stories, and then obviously also action in this, that money and own physical tips is not the first priority. And children pick it up. They see it. It's not the first priority. There's things much more important. When can you do that? On Shabbos, you could give the philosophy behind it. During the week, they have to see your action on it. That there is much more important things. And that's how you break up. But the Rebbe says, where do you take the strength? He says from Shabbos. I'll tell you another story. In Crown Heights, there was a mother, there was a family, and one of the children started to drift from Yiddishkeit. They had a big family, but one of the children, I think the oldest, whatever, started, came to the point he left the house. Well, mother and father were broken-hearted, like, She came to the Rebbe. What should I do? He doesn't even come for Shabbos. She's asking him, okay, wherever you live, but for Shabbos, come. He says, when I'll be ready, I'll come. So the Rebbe told her, make Shabbos a special experience. The Rebbe says, think of Shabbos, you have a family, you have kids. Think of each child, what does that child want, likes on Shabbos table. Try to do something special that all children should enjoy it. And they were together with the husband, the Rebbe says. And to the husband, the Rebbe says, you have to prepare and think a lot what the messages you want to give. And together, you guys have to make a Shabbos experience, something out of this world. Every Shabbos experience, the kids have to look forward. Not just the good food, there's the atmosphere, songs, stories, attention to the kids, what did you learn this week, any issues, you have questions, this. Make it a special experience for all the kids. That's what the Rebbe told her. She says, but he's not coming for Shabbos. The Rebbe says, start. You start, and that will bring him back. Okay, the Rebbe said, she listened. So from time to time he calls, he speaks to his siblings, how are you? And the siblings always tell him, hey, you know, Shabbos became in our house so special. You never saw Shabbos like this. Okay. Well, he says, okay, fine. Then he hears it again from another sibling, from another sibling. He calls and he says, can I come for Shabbos? Mother and father says, sure, you could come for Shabbos. He came for Shabbos at the same Shabbos table, and he was actually excited. Shabbos table is over, he's leaving. Okay, he's leaving means he's driving or whatever, painful. Next week he says, I want to come for Shabbos again. Sure. And he didn't stay. And look, this was a few weeks. After 3 weeks he says, can I stay at home Friday night?
Sleep home?
Can I stay home? Huh? What did you say?
Sleepover, yes.
Sleepover, yeah, in my house. They said, sure, your place is here, your room, your bed is yours. And he turned around and he came back. But that's a story to a specific case that the Rebbe gave advice. But it's really, that advice is proper when all the kids are fine. But this is the best way to make it better, deeper, stronger. That your kids should become so strong that in any environment they'll fall in. And somebody will start telling them nonsense, come here, come there, who knows, involving them in different ideas. And they will be strong and say, no, this is not Jewish, this doesn't belong, no, we have to do this, and this. Not only they should do right, but they should be full with energy and understanding and commitment that anybody who's going to try, or they will see some other wrong example, or somebody's going to pull them with the wrong example, they will not just resist for themselves, they're going to try to influence on their friend. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Well, come on, we have such beautiful things. Where are you going? That's what you have to make your children. They should not be full with godliness, but they should be the one who would spread godliness around.
Excited about it.
Be excited about it and be committed and also understand it, not just whatever, this is how we do, but they should understand, and that comes from every week, you another piece, till it becomes their way of thinking, their way of living, their way of excitement, and this becomes them. And by the way, this is the specialty of Avraham Avinu. How do we see it? It says the special of Avraham Avinu, God says, I loved you. You know why? because you managed to give her over to your family. When you look in Chumash, you find bits and pieces, but if you look carefully, you find the answer. Avraham Avinu is going to slaughter Yitzchak. God told him. What does Avraham Avinu do? He takes the other children with him. And he took the children with him. What are you taking the children? Well, if this is what I have to do, God told me to do, I want them to know. Avraham Avinu decided that angels came to his house and he's going to make for them 3 tongues. He's going to go and slaughter 3 cows to give, 3 oxen to give. What does he do? He sends his son to do it. He involves his son in what he is doing. Why is he doing it? He had a lot of slaves. He was very rich. He didn't have to bother the son to go on and shecht or prepare this for the guest. He involved because he wanted the son to learn what he is doing and why he is doing. So the son will learn. This is education. It's not enough you sit and down on your own, I learn on my own and this, and the kids have to pick it up. No, you have to do it, involve them, bring them, answer them, explain to them. You see a child has questions, doesn't have answers, at the table, quietly, without directing to him, ask the question that you know he is bothered with. Give an answer to the question. One answer, a second answer, a third answer. All of a sudden the child says, oh, I thought I have a question, nobody could answer it. All of a sudden he has answers. So now when he has a question, he feels more comfortable to come and ask because he sees you're not screaming, what are you asking such a nonsense? No, every question is welcomed. You make the child feel comfortable to come and share his question or his feelings or his outlook, knowing that it's not exactly the way you think. But he's comfortable to do that. And then you help him actually to start seeing things, to what you know from Torah, the way you should see things.
Where I was with you, with Ishmaelim,
Yeah.
really learned it.
I can't hear you.
Ishmaelim learned it. Achnasat al-Fi.
Can. They took it from us.
You took him from Abraham. Because you remind Abraham.
Correct.
Torah doesn't tell us that you learn that it is the Yitzhak.
Correct.
תורה בא להגיד לנו שאנחנו צריכים לעשות את זה.
Correct. No, so you see Avraham Avinu is involving his kids and Hashem says, thank you because I'm choosing you because you managed. How do you manage to do that? By staying and praying on your own, that's only one little aspect. Yes, you have to say Tillim. And there's Tillim for every child in his age because that previous Rebbe brings it that this is a zgula that the child should not go away from the proper path. To say the Tehillim of his Tehillim every single day. So parents do that. Previous Rebbe writes it in the Dvar Malchus, it's printed, the letter. So we say Tehillim for the child. What do you say Tehillim for the child? You give him the right school, and you give him kosher food, and you give him a Jewish atmosphere at home. Good to go. No, it's not enough. Whatever I do is still not enough. I have to pray, I have to say Tehillim. And if there is an issue with the child, then my wife adds Tehillim. There was times she would say the whole Tehillim, because if one child has a challenge.
And grandkids too,
Grandkids too? My wife does it for the grandkids. I said I'm still working. I can't do it. I have to say the whole Tehillim a day. It's ours. Huh?
No time on anything else.
Correct. But again, you have to do it. You have to do it.
Next life.
Then there is a child has a challenge. You give tzedakah, whatever. It's not simple. People think, the kids are okay. Nothing is always okay. There is always challenges. Maybe not big challenges, smaller challenges, but there is no such thing, no challenges. Hashem entrusted to us children, souls of our kids. He didn't give them to us. They're not ours. They don't belong to us. He entrusted us to take care of them. And this is a full-time job. And you still have a job to work, or whatever you have a lot of things to do in life. But to take care of children, they should grow up and they should be, when they come to the point when they stand at their own feet, and they should stand on the feet the way you would be able to be proud of it. It takes a lot to put in them that should happen. It doesn't usually happen. Sometimes it's a miracle, you win a lottery, but usually you cannot rely on getting married, I'm going to get a lottery and I'll support my family for the next 50 years by a lottery. That's a guy not practical. Sometimes there's a miracle, there's a child born and he's like perfect, as far as you understand in the child. That's a blessing, an extra blessing. Usually, normally, especially when there is more than one child, this has this challenge, this has this challenge, this is today the challenge, the other one has in a year this challenge. Yet everybody there is issues. Not only when the kids are at home, later when the kids get married, you're still the father and mother. But that's now harder. Now you cannot just tell them what to do. Now it's different example and it's different to approach. Now you're dealing also with a son-in-law, with a daughter-in-law. You have to be more careful and more this. But say, you know what? It's so hard. I'm removing myself. No, you're still father and mother. What do you mean you remove yourself? Who is going to give them what the father and mother could, if not you? They don't have another father, another mother. It's you. I mean, your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law have also a father and a mother, but again, you don't control them, what they do for their kids. But we're talking spiritually, we're not talking now giving, doing things, whatever. Somebody has the ability, that's great. But spiritually, you have to continue to be father and mother of your children for their life. Doesn't matter. They could be 70 and you are 90. You're still a father and mother of the kids. Even so, your child is already a grandparent, grandfather, grandmother. So what? He's still your child. Nobody could graduate from being a child.
From a parent.
On being a parent. No, I'm saying, so if the child continues to be a child, then I'm the parent. That's what I mean. Doesn't matter what age, I'm still a child. And it's the responsibility is becoming different, so because that's why I have to grow. So when the child is 5 years old, 2 years old, it's very simple. Whatever I want to do, that's exactly what he does. 10 years old, but then he starts growing, he has his own opinion, he has his own character, he has his own what he wants, what he doesn't want. You have to become smarter and now do it in a different way. But still the same idea, to direct them to the right place. Somebody asked the Rebbe, how can you, Americans don't like to hear anything? So the Rebbe says, that's true. You're trying to teach America. The Rebbe says, so they say to the Rebbe, Americans are not ready to. So the Rebbe says, Americans are not ready to hear. You can't tell an American mentality, you can't tell them nothing what to do. But you could inspire him to anything you want. If you don't take the approach of telling the child what to do, because when you tell a child, some children accept it, but some are picking their back up, they don't like it. But if you want to inspire them, if you think how to inspire them to this, not telling them, not dictating, but actually inspire, then the Rebbe says you can inspire an American to anything you want. There's no limitation. You show him this, he gets excited. And you come to America and says, okay, a line of business, what do you do? Oh, I have a better line for business. Oh, what is it? You give him some excitement, he's there with you. So inspiring, the Rebbe says you could inspire to everything. To tell them what to do, nothing you could tell, because they will not take it.
How old was the baby?
I heard the story. It was a gentleman was writing articles in paper. He was a journalist. He asked the Rebbe, "Were you trying?" That was in the 50s. You're trying to teach America what to do. Americans are not ready to listen, especially to a man with a hat and a beard. They will not listen. So the Rebbe says, "You're right. You can't tell American nothing what to do, but inspiring him. If you find a way how to inspire, you could inspire him to no limitation. That means the Rebbe understands who is he dealing with. That's Americans, then there is Israelis, then there is Frenchies. Each one has a different mentality. And to each one you have to have the right approach. A man and a woman and a child and an older one, they're different creatures. And that's what the Moshe Rabbeinu means. He knows how to talk and bring it to everyone on his or her level, and they are excited to take it. Or you are successful to get to them if they're not excited yet. Slowly they'll get excited.